Good afternoon and welcome to WA News in association with BBC News School Report with me, Fahmi.
And me, Matt. The headlines today.
Following recent high-profile cases of British subjects being extradited to the US to face trial, Cameron and Obama are in ongoing discussion over this matter.
After the coach crash in Switzerland, which killed 28 people, we seek a teacher's view on whether school trips are still safe.
12-year-old girl dies due to rugby ball hitting her in the chest. We ask how teachers ensure health and safety in contact sports.
And in sport news, thousands of school students, including our own Westminster Academy pupils, find out which tickets they have been allocated in this summer's Olympics. We discuss the Six Nations tournament and the Champions League.
First, over to Man News correspondent Shayman Nariman with our top story tonight.
Prime Minister David Cameron and the President Obama talk in the Oval Office about refreshing the UK-US treaty, establishing whether or not it is fair on Britons who have to be extradited to the United States for the trials. The issue regarding extradition was raised on the day. The two leaders also discussed crisis in Afghanistan, unrest in Syria and the nuclear standoff with Iran. The Prime Minister said of the issue of the extradition, I raised this issue with President Obama today and we had a good discussion. We will be following this up with verbal talks between our teams.
Sources report that Mr. Obama had no objection to the raised issue of the extradition. However, arguments over the existing treaty have surfaced to the US. Last month, a businessman and British citizen Christopher Tappan, who is now in custody in the US awaiting trial for allegedly selling batteries to the Iranian missiles, a charge he refuses to admit. A similar argument was raised over the case of Gary McKinnon, the Asperger's sufferer, continuing to face extradition in the US for supposedly hacking the US military computer systems. It has been reported last night that the government will be looking further into possible changes under which the US could accept to suspects in similar situations who are being tried on British land instead.
Thank you, Nariman and Shayma. Now to Farah and Rina for that report on the Swiss coach crash.
The country are debating on whether to ban school trips or take hard precautions. Many agree and disagree. No one really knows why these fatal accidents occur. Some say it's the weather, road and environment, whereas others say it depends on the driver or the stand of the company. I and my correspondent Rina are about to go and interview Mr. Farmer, who will be leading the Westminster Academy's expedition.
We're here with Mr. Farmer, who is Head of Student Leadership and is leading Westminster Academy's Duke of Edinburgh expedition. So, Mr. Farmer, has the bus crash in Switzerland made you reconsider school trips?
No, I don't think it has. I think the bus crash is obviously a tragedy, but I think this sort of event is also very, very rare. And I still feel that overall the benefits of school trips really outweigh the risks, because it's on school trips that you get to experience new places, you get to try out things you've never done before, and I think they're just really important for providing a well-rounded education.
How can you ensure health and safety?
Every trip that the school takes goes through a very, very thorough risk assessment process. So the teacher leading the trip has to complete documents showing that they've identified all the potential dangers and, more importantly, that they know what to do about them should they occur. For many of our trips, like our Duke of Edinburgh expeditions, we also involve the students in that process. So they will also complete their own risk assessment and prove that actually they have thought about the dangers and they're being responsible about them. We always have a first aider, a member of staff who's been trained in first aid present on each school trip. And again, for some of our more adventurous trips, like Duke of Edinburgh, we train students in first aid. And finally, we have very, very clear procedures of what to do in an emergency, which follow by all trips.
I'm joined in the studio now by my correspondent Naomi, reporting on our next story.
12-year-old student Leonie Nice collapsed at school during a PE lesson due to a rugby ball hitting her chest. This all occurred in front of her horrified classmates. Adults called paramedics and Leonie was given CPR to help chances for her survival.
Even though many people helped her when she reached the hospital, it was too little too late, as she passed away. Classmates all paid a tribute to her, and she was described as a very kind person who will be missed terribly.
Here, it goes to show how we should take precautions, as these physical sports may injure many people, and from here take lives. We should use softer balls so here the impact will be not as severe.
There is still an ongoing controversy of whether the girl that threw the rugby ball at Leonie will be considered as a murderer or will be forgiven, as this was a very unlikely accident to happen.
Now, I will interview WAP teacher Miss Williams about what this school does to prevent these incidents from happening. Now we're joined by Miss Williams, who will talk to us about how she ensures children don't get hurt during these contact sports. So what would you do?
If I was to plan a rugby lesson with a whole bunch of students, I would go over the initial rules of the game and whatever drill we are doing at that time. For example, if it's passing, I'll make sure every student is aware of the conditions of what's going to happen. Before students start to pass the ball to each other, I would make sure that they're all holding the ball, and on my whistle they can throw it to their partner, and their partners will be aware and awake to be able to catch the ball.
Thank you. Now,
And if pupils don't behave sensibly during PE lessons, should they take part?
With me, if students don't behave in my PE lesson, I get them to do other jobs, so either referee, I get them to sit down and they can pick up the cones or set up the next drill for me. I give them extra homework, like say writing out what we did in that lesson, and they need to plan another lesson for the next period. If they also are not behaving, I can give them physical punishment, make them go for a walk or run around the pitch, and when it comes to other misbehaviours, sometimes I can stop it I can stop a lesson straight away and get everyone to sit down and go over basic rules and expectations of each other.
Okay, that's all our news now. Now back to the studio with Matt and Fahmi, who will be doing the sports headlines.
Hello and welcome to your sports update with me, Matt.
And me, Fahmi. We have a range of sports to report on, including rugby, football, and some good news about tickets involved in the Olympics.
Today we'll see the announcement of tickets being released to school students. The events that the children will go to the Olympic site to see are currently unknown to the schools, but this occasion is in order for, as Lorco says, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. 1 in 8 students from Great Britain will be receiving tickets to go to the Olympics. It is likely that tickets will be released for football and equestrian, as there are currently 18,650 tickets remaining respectively. 1 million extra tickets are also set to be released in April, just before the games begin. At Westminster Academy, tickets have been allocated for football, volleyball and athletics at Wembley and the Olympic Park. All Gateshead schools should soon be informed on what tickets they will be able to give to students. The last few weeks have seen the arrival of the Six Nations tournament, one of the largest competitions in the rugby world. The final day will see Wales face 4th place France in order to win the tournament. Wales, who have twice the amount of difference in tries scored and tries conceded in France, go into the match with high confidence, winning 4 in 4 for the competition and leading the race. England also are in the running for the competition for being crowned champions, but must win and hope that Wales lose.
Last night saw the last 16 of the Champions League. Chelsea won the game at home 4-1 after extra time, winning 5-4 in aggregate. This will make them the only English side remaining in the Champions League, as Arsenal crashed out due to AC Milan's expertise.
That's your sport update for the evening, and that's all from us in the studio with your news and sport.
All that remains is to hear from our weather correspondent, Ulix, with London's weather for today.
Weather today in the UK is 12 to 13 degrees, but central and eastern parts are warmer, reaching 16 degrees. In Scotland, Edinburgh are experiencing a mild 8 degrees, while lastly Belfast have slightly rainy spells. In London today for the weather, most of London is nice and clear with temperatures up to 16 degrees Celsius, eventually getting colder by 6 p.m, the temperature is dropping to 8 degrees. Westminster is also enjoying some sunlight with 16 degrees. gradually it will get warmer, and our local area is enjoying some sun due to the spring season coming into effect. Kensington, Hammersmith and Fulham are also enjoying the same. So overall London is pretty warm right now, which means you can go out and enjoy the heat. Thank you from me and all of our WA News School Report team. Thank you and good evening.